Alrighty, guys, what's up? This is Baseball and Whatever. We have Justin, we have Greg, we have Vinnie. This is episode 23. Air Jordan himself. I can't think
or Devin Hester.
Devin Hester.
Devin Hester. Jake Lamb up until a couple of weeks ago. So
my wife is mouthing to me that it's also LeBron's number. Which
who?
Who is?
I thought he was
in a
six.
bad Space Jam movie.
He was 6, and I think when he went to LA, did he become 23?
Oh, he was just 6 with the Heat. That's right.
Yeah.
That was it. Okay. So anyway, welcome to sidetrack there. Welcome to Baseball Whatever. This week we are doing our normal baseball talk, and then we are going to sit down and discuss our favorite concert experiences. Obviously, concerts are kind of hit or miss at this point with COVID, so we figured why not reminisce about our favorite times, especially with summer winding down. Some big Lollapalooza was that last month? Riot Fest, I think, was this past weekend, or it's this weekend, I think, in Chicago. So we figured, what the heck? We'll talk about our favorite concerts, and we have a ton of people that wrote in on Facebook, Twitter, Discord, all that good stuff. So we will share as many of those. If you are listening to us for the first time, welcome. We always do our baseball segment first, and then we do pretty much anything else we want after that, whether it's music, movies, video games, top 5 lists, comic book, DC, Marvel, James Bond for Greg. We try to hit it all, Star Wars. So thank you for tuning in. But first, we always start off with our listener feedback from people that have written in either on Facebook, email, or on YouTube. So Greg, take it away.
Thanks, Justin. Great to be here. Vinny.
Hello.
Great to have you, everyone, together again.
Yeah.
So, what do we have here? Comments. A lot of people writing in. It's like we're getting popular. Or
I know.
like that. Or people just
that's weird.
screaming at us because we say stupid shit. But no, a bunch of people chime in, which is awesome. So let's kick it off with Ron from Facebook. Is Ron a first timer here?
Yes, he is.
Welcome to the comment section, Ron. Keep up the great work, guys. Love the show. Ron, do we need to read anything else?
No, he's
Thank you,
quick to
Mr.
the point.
Swanson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we know Ron?
Yes, Ron is actually my grandfather. He called me up the other day just to tell me how good we are, and my head couldn't fit through the door after that conversation.
Yeah.
So thank you
Kudos
for
to Ron for even using
he's
technology.
got his iPhone, he's got his podcast app, and he subscribed to us on YouTube. So he's doing
wow.
it. Yeah.
All right.
Ron, you are the greatest. All right. Well, thank you, Ron. We appreciate the kind words as always. Oh, my guy is back. Our guy is back. Glucosamine Chondroitin Dr. Condom from YouTube. My all-time favorite is Bull Durham. I don't watch it until last year, and I fell in love. Oh, I didn't watch it until last year. I can't read. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
It came in a double feature DVD labeled His and Hers for Valentine's Day with the transporter.
Yeah.
Sounds like a his and his.
I don't remember. Yeah, I was gonna say.
What's the hers?
I don't remember that.
I would have thought
story.
So is the Hers Bull Durham then?
It's got to be, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be.
I'll get my wife to watch it and see what she thinks.
And this is in reference to our top 5 sports movies that we did last week.
Yes.
So, yes.
Oh, well, it kind of goes. I mean, he goes on to say my partner loves Jason Statham movies,
well,
so
okay.
I bought it. Okay, so maybe it is the Hers. Anywho, Bull Durham is super funny and quotable. I love Sandlot a ton too. Also pulling for the Mariners to make the wild card spot. Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yes, I noticed they're like 4 games out now, though, so they got to pick it back up a little bit.
Uh-oh. We have a tough customer here. Ashley from YouTube.
The wife.
Uh-oh.
How am I married to a man that's never watched Coach Carter? Well, quite simple. I'm not a man. So answer that question. Yeah, Coach Carter, Jake was really high in that movie. So is the wife. So apparently it's amazing.
So you're going to have to break down and watch that.
Them. I guess so.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised she likes that movie.
Have you seen it, Vinny? Or did none of us
parts
see
of it?
Parts of it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think that movie came out when she was in college, so she probably watched a lot in college.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
Continuing on, Pigskin Dispatch on Twitter. Nice. Guys, I gave a couple of your episodes a listen. Very entertaining. Guys, we're entertaining.
I know.
Whoa.
Nice work. Love the Seinfeld episode rundown. Funny stuff. Pigskin Dispatch. We love you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes, thank you.
Jake Hahn on Twitter. Is that hole in one, Jake Hahn?
That is the one and only
Ace.
The
Jake,
Ace.
Ace in the
Hahn?
hole of Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. I told him I think that was a podcast bump. He comes on our podcast. He gets an ace hole in one. Man,
The power,
the
baby.
podcast.
So are we going to start turning ourselves into golf podcasts then? We're just have a bunch of golfers come on to.
I barely know enough about baseball. If we're in trouble if we turn into a golf podcast. So
Yeah,
Happy
we had
Gilmore is the
Mar-
extent of my golf knowledge.
That like Mario golf.
Yeah, in Mario golf. Yeah.
So when do you turn on your superpower? So anyway, our dear friend Jake writes in, had an awesome time chatting with you boys. Look forward to hopefully talking again in the future. Love the top 5 sports movies ideas. Jake, I think we love talking to you.
Yeah, Jake's awesome.
Rock, man.
He's an awesome guy.
What a nice guy, and just what a great podcast that was. So we had good variety to our list. If you didn't,
very different. I was really afraid that we were all going to have the same, and we didn't.
Yep.
Right. No, it was all, we had great variety. So
for sure.
That was a lot of fun. Go check that out for sure. Jack Lugo, our guy, writes in, enjoying your picks for top 5 sports movies. Jack shares his. Some selections are the ones that didn't immediately spring to mind for me. His top 5, number 1, Rocky, although he argues that's more of a romance. I know Jack's a big Rocky guy.
Mm-hmm.
So Rocky's a great choice. Great movie. Watched it the other day, actually. 2, Field of Dreams. 3, Moneyball, which I had on my list. 4, The Natural, I had on my list. And 5, Major League, which I also had on my list.
Wow.
So, how about
must
that,
be a
Jack
Bond
Lugo,
thing.
Yeah, it must be.
I was going to say, well, that's the interesting thing. Our top 5 Bond movies might be totally different. So our baseball movies are the same.
Not bad.
So
Not bad.
Jack, thank you for writing. Jack's been chiming in on his Mets too. So I'll give him a shout
he
out
has
because
he
is still kind of
I don't know. It's
positive.
It's getting tougher and tougher to.
It definitely is. It definitely is. I think
the window is shrinking.
I was talking to Jack the other day on Twitter, and he's ready to crucify Luis Rojas, the Mets manager.
The manager.
Like,
oh, geez.
Yeah, they're ready to run him out of town.
Yeah.
So, if Jack's getting pissed, you done bad. So, oh man, blast from the past here. Bill Koenig, man from Uncle, Batman himself, the expert. Don't forget Grand Prix 1966. Although many don't consider it auto racing a sport.
I will admit I've never seen Grand Prix. Have you guys seen Grand Prix?
I have not.
Grand Prix.
But I'm sure my father-in-law probably has seen it.
Okay.
He's big on racing.
I'm kind of tempted. I might have to give it a look. I'm one of the probably weirdos that wakes up early on like Sundays when the F1 races start, just because they're all over the world, so the times are weird. So I might have to check that out.
Is that why you were asking about that F1 video game on Twitter?
It was. And if you want to like kind of get a feel for what F1's all about, there's a Netflix documentary where they take you through the season and they do like, I think it's like 8 episodes, and they do like the storylines. It's actually really good. So if you have any interest in it, it gives you a background on the drivers and the teams, and it's like really
Hard Knocks,
kind of, yeah. And it's kind of like the stuff they do in F1 almost reminds me of Mario Kart a little bit. So like the cars, when they are braking, they are harvesting kinetic energy from their braking, and it stores it in the battery. And then the teams and the drivers can use that as a speed burst when they're on certain parts of the track. They can get like 10 more horsepower after they harvest that kinetic energy. So it's kind of cool, actually. Yeah. That one stuff's really cool. Yeah. So I mean, I couldn't sit and watch a NASCAR race if you paid me, but F1.
Do you know what that show's called?
I think it. Give me a second. Keep talking, and I'll look it up. I think it's Drive for F1 or something like that.
Okay. Well, Greg, maybe I can ask you this question. Man's greatest gift, or I shouldn't say gift, greatest invention. Is it the shower beer? Would you say that?
Is it? Yeah, that's a good shout.
Yeah, might be the second greatest invention behind the microwave, I'd say. Justin, I'm guessing you probably have never dabbled.
I've never had a shower beer. No, I still don't have a beer I like.
No, yeah, he's not a.
I've been drinking beers before this just to kind of loosen up as a introverted accountant, and now that we've have the baby, I shower at night because it's one less person to get ready in the morning. So I've been combining the two, and I'm bringing it back to my college days, and I forgot how fantastic it was.
I haven't done that in forever, but I do it tonight.
I do it every day, but then I'd turn into probably Louis Anderson. with a big
I could go
giant
for
beer
like
gut.
a pina colada in the shower with a little parasol.
That would work too.
I do occasionally just bring like bottles of water in there if I'm super thirsty. Like, and people find that weird. You know,
everybody's got their
does anyone brush their teeth in the shower?
No,
I don't.
I don't.
I haven't done that.
I do that. That saves a ton of time.
On a side note,
what were we talking about again?
Vinny, the name of that TV show, the name of that Netflix series is Formula One Drive to Survive. There's like 3 seasons. If you want to know about the teams from I think the last season covers last year and they're focusing on it this year. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, even if you have no interest in the racing part, just some of the drivers are kind of have like what do they say? They're like silver spoons in their mouth when they're born. They're from like Monaco and these rich places. And then you have other guys who their families were super poor. They put a lot of their savings into like getting them into go-karting and then racing up the ranks, levels, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like a Hard Knocks, but for racing. And that's, like I said, that's the only type of racing I actually watch. So, but yeah,
when you first brought it up, Justin, you're not the first person to mention that show to me, actually.
Okay.
And you have you talked about it before? Maybe you were the original person to do it. Someone has told me about that show before.
I feel like
I sound like Jameis Winston post game right now, but yeah, I've heard that show from someone is fantastic.
Yeah, it's actually really good. So for me to sit still and watch a show, because you guys know I can't sit still to watch TV shows very often unless it's like The Office, but it's actually pretty good. But without further ado, to get to something maybe a little more exciting and expected by our listeners, let's talk about some White Sox. Greg, I see you have the new White Sox mascot right over your shoulder. You want to tell us a little bit about that? For those that are watching on YouTube.
For those on YouTube, currently we have the new White Sox mascot right over here. He doesn't have a name right now, so we'll just call him Shit. And that kind of, so I know on the previous podcast, we're entering those dog days of baseball. It's different when your team, like in the White Sox case, they have like a huge lead in the division, but they're still like, not looking great versus when your team is kind of like in a hunt, like a Dodgers or a wild card. I mean, that's exciting going on right now. Believe me, I'm ecstatic that my team's going to the postseason. However, I am not thrilled with the way they are playing baseball right now. And even today, even this garbage series versus the Angels right now, if we're entering we're a couple weeks away from, the postseason right here. And if you take this team and it's postseason start today, like they're screwed. Like they are not going anywhere, with what they're doing right now. They can't hit. They're blowing games. There's just no sense of urgency. They remind me of the Mets right now. It's like they're in the only difference is the Mets are in a hunt. My point is there is no sense of urgency. There is no fire. This team needs to heat up right now because the postseason is coming. And if you don't kick it up, if you don't turn it up a little bit, you are screwed. They are screwed. They're not going anywhere if they can't pick this stuff up right now. And the White Sox need to get hot. I wrote down a bunch of crap on the White Sox that I'm not even going to get to because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they did in the last 15 games. It doesn't matter how many strikeouts Dylan Cease has. That's all the stupid bullshit that I wrote down there because it doesn't matter if you enter the postseason the way you're playing baseball right now. It is shit. It is shit. And this team needs to get hot now. Not tomorrow, not after breakfast, now.
Well,
that's how I really feel.
I saw that they did make some roster changes. I saw your guy Sebi Zavala got sent down, correct? For Zach Collins?
Interesting. I think this is a move by Tony or the organization to solidify the backup catcher role.
Okay.
I think they want to see if Collins, however long he was in AAA, just what I don't even know what he did down there. It probably is not good, but I think this is a move to kind of solidify. Okay, because he's starting catcher's ground out, obviously.
Yeah,
who's going to be the backup? Because the thing with Collins is the lefty, the left-handed hitter off the bench. But I don't care about that because I think Gavin Sheets is going to be the guy, and I'd rather have Gavin Sheets over there.
Okay.
So as our
left-handed hit
power
off the
bat,
bench,
because I don't think Collins could do it. I think I'd much rather have the defensive catcher and Zebby Zavala on the postseason roster. Or if you're going to have all three, have all three. I don't like that idea, but that's been proven to win World Series, I suppose, in some cases, unless David Ross is not on the team or whatever. But guys, I don't know. I mean, I think, like I said, it was kind of like the dog days with the White Sox, and then I kind of tuned in a little more with the Red Sox series, and then watching the last two games with the Angels, and it's just really lackluster, disappointing baseball that I'm seeing from this club. I need to see them get hot for me to feel better. I know they're good. I know they're great. I know they got a good, comfortable lead, but this is this guy right here. That's what I'm seeing, and it's not good.
What about at least Luis Roberts having a good season, right? Yeah. I mean, he's been good lately for you guys.
We lost 2 games to the Angels.
Ooh, without Mike Trout, no less.
Yeah,
Luis Robert, fine. He got 2 hits tonight or whatever. This team, I'm speaking collectively. Cold, soggy shit sandwich.
Vinny, this is like vintage White Sox Greg right here. I haven't seen this Greg talk about the White Sox in a long time.
I'm starting to get, this is me starting to get my sense of urgency.
This is playoff Greg.
Or this is because I am livid, I am mean, I am nasty, I'm angry when the post, especially entering like this. Like they were going strong.
Yeah.
Like right now, and entering this and they started the playoffs hot, like I'd feel much better about it. I'm not saying they won't, they can heat up. I just need to start seeing signs of it.
Are you?
And even with this Tony La Russa ejection today, like sometimes you say, okay, manager gets ejected. It's going to fire him up. Like I didn't even feel anything like that because they tossed Mike Wright for throwing to Shohei Ohtani. I don't know. I actually believe that he wasn't thrown that he wasn't throwing at him because it looks like he was trying to throw screwballs out there.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw that play. I was like,
saw a little bit of it.
Yeah, what the hell that dude was doing. So, but Tony got tossed. Even that ejection was piss poor. I know he started slamming shit in the dugout, but I mean, come on, we need some spark. We need to start heating up. We need to enter this postseason hot because it looks like who we getting the Astros or whatever.
That's who.
Not losing to the fucking Astros.
Well, it would be. So
I think that's who we're slated to get.
Wild card,
Rays,
right?
Yeah, because Rays are the best team in the AL, so they get the wild card winner.
Yeah, we would get
Houston.
Yeah,
and we would get Houston on the road. I'm guessing because they have a better record.
Oh, put the trash cans away.
I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So,
that would be a rough series.
I'm not before people before were saying, okay, you know what? They're a good spot. They're, the focus was getting healthy. Yes, we still need to be healthy, but we're pretty close.
Yeah.
So now let's turn it up.
Yeah.
Let's start turning it up. Let's start beating on some fools right now. Get that momentum going.
Do you think that
because right now you're entering the postseason just like
they're backing into it almost at this point.
It seems like it. It seems
posting
like it. So it's just not a good vibe. It doesn't feel good.
No.
It just I don't know. That's why this guy is out.
Do you like you go ahead, Vinny?
I was gonna say they're professionals though. They can just turn it on, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any
so do it.
Yeah.
if you're professionals, to do it.
Or if they're just gonna wait till the playoffs.
They're just trying to save all their energy for the playoffs, Greg. I'm sure that's all it is.
Load management. That's what they call it in the NBA.
Load management in the NBA. Yeah.
Nope. There's not like this. This isn't saving it. This is getting fooled and this is getting beat.
Do you think that the 6-man rotation knocks them out of their routine a little bit now that they're going to a 6-man with Lopez, or no?
Should probably stop that. He got creamed tonight.
Yes, he did.
So maybe he got hit pretty hard. I don't know. I think that's to take some pressure off the rotation a little bit.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, for me, I'm more heated about the bats.
Sure.
But I mean, Ronaldo's been solid for most of the time. So, I mean, this just could have been an outlier. I mean, we'll see. I don't really have a problem with that, I suppose.
Okay.
So.
Well, we will, I guess, see what happens and go from there. I mean, I don't know. Vinny, you got any more on the White Sox before we move on to a more depressing team?
No, it just seems like if one area is good for the night, there's two other areas, be it the bullpen or the bats, if starting pitching is going well, that just collapse. It just seems like it's a revolving door of two areas that are just going to be bad. You're going to have one good area, and then it's just crap on the other two.
Well, that is a perfect reflection of the Keuchel start the other day.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Dallas Keuchel was finally serviceable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Getting pitching quality, you get piss poor command, but the stats were of quality start, and you just couldn't pull through. So I mean that's right. I think that's exactly what that was and what has been going on. So we're not firing on all our cylinders right here. Need to see it turn out. If they turn it on, if they come out and they play Houston in the first series and they just come out like lightning, I will be much, much happier.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed for you, Greg. Yep. I mean, they got about 2.5 to 3 weeks to iron this out, and I need to see some. I mean, I don't know if urgency is the right word because they have a comfortable lead, but I need to see a little bit of momentum here, a little bit of fire, because just saving it for the postseason, that's when it's already gone. Yeah, so, it's awful.
By the time you save it, it just disappears. There's that stuff just doesn't exist. Just disappeared like a fart in the wind.
Well, for Greg's sake, I hope they play better. I don't like to see sad playoff Greg. We gotta turn it around. So
I don't really have sad playoff for Greg.
Angry playoff Greg.
Just angry. Yeah.
Boomer.
Boomer
comes out.
I wasn't angry at 05 though, because that playoff coasted, man. I don't think I ever felt. I mean, I felt a little something when they lost Game 1 to the Angels in the CS, but even then, I was just like, this is a longer series, and they're good. So,
all right.
You see these guys turn it up though.
Well, fingers crossed that. They do. Switching over, though, to a team that is nowhere near the playoff race. And
they just had a good run.
They did have a good run, and now they're back to sucking again, I think is what the term is. They lost today. I believe it was 17-6, 17-8. I believe 17-8, I think.
Yeah, something like I think that's
they put up a 7th spot in, I think, the 3rd or 4th inning, and then they immediately gave those runs back, which seems to be like the
Arrieta syndrome.
Yeah, you don't... There's a lot. Oh, you don't want that. That's contagious.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I'll be honest, Vinny. I don't have much to say about the Cubs. I mean, I know Schwindel was on a roll. He's not playing as well as he was the last couple of weeks. He's still playing really well, though.
He's still been their only bright spot. Wisdom's come crashing down to earth.
Yes,
though.
he has. So that led me to my question is, people are very high on Schwindel right now, fairly high on Wisdom, even though he's kind of come crashing back to earth. Do you move them in the offseason because you're going to get a lot for them? You can sucker some team into taking them, or do you just roll with them next season?
I think it depends on what your package is, and I don't think
you get anything.
I don't think you're going to get too much for them.
No.
I think the problem is, Wisdom's coming back down to earth, and Schwindel, there's still not enough there. I mean, I know he's technically qualifies as a rookie for his at-bats, but I mean, there's still not enough there.
I would imagine the book will be out on them very quickly at some point, right? After a few months.
So I think the DH is coming. I think the best bet they hold on to him. You could put Schwindel at DH, keep Wisdom unless you can get Chris Bryant back. But,
we got to talk about that. So he came back for the Giants series, and you could tell he was just so emotional with being back, and it made me wonder if there was more to that story that maybe I don't know. Like the way he was talking, it was like he wanted to stay or he wanted to come back. So it just makes me wonder what the hell happened back at the end of July, beginning of August when they traded him. I don't know.
I don't think it mattered. I don't think you need to dwell on that anymore, Justin. No. It's over with.
All right, fair enough.
Just let it go. Let it go. And
I am happy for him. And I'll be honest.
Look to the future.
Yeah, and I'm not really a Giants fan, but I will definitely take them over the Dodgers any day. Yep. So if they can crush the Dodgers, I'd be okay with that. And cool, good for the Giants. I mean, they have like a team of like 34, 33, 35-year-olds, which to say that that's old is really depressing me right now.
Their record is just so crazy.
It's insane. I would have never thought that.
Losses.
Yeah, so
it's unbelievable.
Unfortunately, I feel like the Cubs segment is going to be much shorter than the Sox segment, but there is not much to say positive or negative about the Cubs at this point. It's just they're kind of like this blob that's just there. Yeah. It won't go away until the end of October. So in 2 weeks, it'll disappear, and then we won't have to worry about it for a little while until free agency opens up and hot stove and all that stuff.
Brendan Davis did hit 2 home runs in his first 2 at-bats in AAA, so another bright spot. And Alfonso Rivas is hitting over 300, almost has an on-base percentage of 400 with the Cubs at the major league level. So, again, bright spots, but, pitching's been awful. Yeah,
absolutely awful.
There must be something in the water in Chicago.
On the north side, the water. I don't know.
South side too.
I guess you're right. Yeah, that good lake water isn't something's wrong with it right now. I don't know
more green in the river.
Yeah, maybe from a little bit left over from St. Patrick's Day.
I had a trivia for you, both of you guys.
Sure, what do you got?
Based on the winning streak, I was hoping the Cubs would keep winning, and by the time we talked about the Cubs, they'd be closer to the MLB record. Do you guys know what the MLB record is and who set it?
For games, consecutive games won?
Consecutive games won.
Was it? I know the A's tied it, correct?
No.
Oh.
Must have been the modern one. The one I'm looking at. No.
Oh, I'm thinking of the okay, yeah, because the A's, the Moneyball year, they rattled off what? Like
so it's more than wins? The 20. It's more than the 20 games by the Athletics?
Yes.
Oh.
Is it the Rays?
No.
I have no idea.
The Rays had a stretch. Hold on.
I honestly have no idea.
I swore
can you give us like a decade, maybe, Vinny?
No, I don't have that.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I wrote down the team name. I should have wrote down the year they did or when they started it, but it's definitely it's early MLB.
Okay, so we're talking.
This team name is now in San Francisco, but they were an East Coast team.
Okay.
Oh wait, so
Giants, the New York Giants? No, that's a football team. Yeah, that's a baseball team.
It was the New York Giants.
New York Giants. Oh, okay. Sorry, really? I thought this was more recent.
Oh wow! No. How many wins?
26 games.
Wow, 26.
Oh, wins okay.
Holy cow!
Ooh. And do you know who did it? Was the second place?
No, who was that?
Cleveland Indians. They just recently did that.
Oh yeah, that's right. They had a really good run there for a while.
I'm thinking of. Yeah, maybe that's what
I think that's who you're probably thinking of. Yep.
Yeah,
Cleveland at 22. And do you know who's in third place?
Oakland.
No. Oakland? That would be my guess.
No, it's actually a tie.
Okay.
The Cubs and the White Stockings.
Really?
At 21. So Chicago holds the third longest win streak, both sides of town.
Wow.
Interesting.
That is something you don't know. You don't hear every day. Both teams being good. Man, what a concept.
And that was also early.
Yeah, that
wasn't our lifetime.
Wonder.
No. That was centuries ago, multiple decades ago, things like that. All right, real quick, we can go through our MLB stuff before we get to our concerts. I'll run through the standings and magic numbers. Then we got a few other stories that we want to get to, especially one that takes place in Milwaukee that I know Vinny has, I think, very strong feelings on. Right now, whoops, I just lost my thing here. So the wild card, we'll just go through those. The AL division leaders right now are Tampa, Houston, and the Sox. That puts the wild card teams at Toronto in the first wild card. Way to go, Toronto.
How about that?
Podcast bump right there. You're welcome, Jake. And the Boston Red Sox are right there with them. And then the Yankees are a half game out of the wild card. Oakland is 3 games out and Seattle is 4 games out. So I'm still pulling for Oakland and Seattle, but I will gladly take Toronto as well, just to cause some havoc and see what they can do. And then in the NL, we got San Francisco, Milwaukee, and Atlanta in the top 3 division leader spots, followed by the Dodgers in the first wild card. But honestly, that could flip back and forth. They look like they're only a game behind the Giants for the division lead.
You gotta love divisional play. Wild card team is clinched
right
a
there,
playoff spot already.
And then, unfortunately or fortunately, if you're a Cardinals fan, the Cardinals have somehow, I don't know where the hell they came from, but they are now in the second wild card spot, followed by San Diego, who is plummeted. I don't know what's going on with them. I think that's the curse of Jake Arrieta right there. Yep. They are a half game out of the second wild card. Cincinnati is a game out of the wild card. And then you got the Phillies 2.5 out. And then Jack's New York Mets now under 500 and 5 games out. But,
and they had I was talking with Jack about, they had a great opportunity with Cincinnati and San Diego just stinking lately to beat up on who were they playing? But anyway, and then that just didn't come to fruition. So I mean, they were on top of the division for a while, and now they are down. So
I'm hoping the Padres can still turn it on. I mean, I guess if the Padres can't make it and it's the Cardinals and the Reds, I guess I'd rather see the Reds than the Cardinals. I mean, I don't know.
I would.
It'd be cool to see Joey Votto get in the playoffs. So. Yep. We do have some other.
No, we don't want to see the Cardinals.
No, God, I
absolutely not
so much. I hate them. Vinny, I think you put this on the list about Kyle Farnsworth and Trey Mancini. You want to mention that real quick?
Yeah, Kyle Farnsworth had a really weird tweet out there. It was last week where he was talking about how. He just mentioned vaguely about players needing to be tougher and not be out for general soreness. And the only player that was listed as out with general soreness on the day he sent that tweet was Trey Mancini, someone that recovered from, I believe, stage 3 cancer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just recently, too. It was last year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Too? Yes.
This is his first year back in the league.
And he's
from all the chemo treatments.
Yeah. And he got a day off, probably well-deserved. Mm-hmm. And, Kyle Farnsworth had the audacity to call him out for whatever reason.
Kyle Farnsworth, the same player that punched a fan and I believe had to go to the disabled list, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Doesn't that sound?
That sounds about right.
Yes,
yep.
But yes, let's complain about.
Sounds like the same jerk to me.
I will admit the only thing I like about Kyle Farnsworth, there was a Cubs game when he was a Cubs pitcher where Paul Wilson of the Reds charged the mound, who was the other pitcher. Yeah. If you look this up on YouTube, if you want to see something funny,
it's a good video.
He literally picked up Paul Wilson after he charged him and body slammed him to the ground and then just kicked the shit out of him.
Yep.
Highly recommend. That's the only good thing about Kyle Farnsworth.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't understand. Farnsworth's been out of the game for a while now. I mean, pitcher for the Cubs for a good period of time and then kind of bounced around the league a little bit as a reliever. I know he was on the Yankees for a while, I want to say. But yeah, it's like, why are you calling out people, especially a guy that the Orioles have been out of it since May, right? Yeah. I mean, if the guy that is recovering from cancer and chemo needs a day off, let him have a day off.
Did he know he was did he send that tweet with intent to, with Mancini?
I don't know.
Or is that just
it could have been a blanket statement?
He sent this tweet out that day and Mancini was the only one out listed with general soreness. So
so he must have looked up because he mentioned general soreness. So he must have
maybe to his credit, he didn't look at the name. He just saw general soreness.
Someone out general soreness. Yeah.
He went all boomer and just started yelling.
That's why
sounds like it.
When you see something on the internet, it's very easy to further research it before you go on Twitter and
not too hard to do that.
It's not that hard. Yeah. Not that hard.
Yep.
Same. Yeah. Anyway, a couple other things real quick. We do have 22 Hall of Fame ballots out. I'll read through a couple names. You guys tell me yay or nay. Curt Schilling.
I'm thinking nay.
I don't know.
I mean, he was good on the. I feel like that period of time with the Diamondbacks, he was good. He's kind of a scumbag now.
Yeah,
from what I've read
I think
about
that's
him.
why he's not going to get in.
And I know there's scumbags in the Hall of Fame in all the leagues at this moment, but Barry Bonds. What do you? Oh, God, Vinny, what were you going to say about Curt?
No, nothing. No, you can go.
Barry Bonds. What do you guys think about Barry Bonds?
He should be in.
I mean, he was regardless a Hall of Famer.
He was a Hall of Famer before he took steroids.
Yeah. I would say yay. But
he's not going to get in.
No.
Right. I was going to say, not surprised if it's a nay. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I think he should be.
Roger Clemens?
I gotta say nay. I think I'm going nay for all three on the final years.
I feel like I've lessened my stance on the whole steroid thing. I feel like if you're going to let them in, that's fine. But I think there should be a part of the hall dedicated to that time period where there was some enhancement, and that's why we saw things like the home run chase. Now, is the Hall of Fame ever going to do that? No, there's no chance in hell they will ever do that. Scott Rowland. What do you guys think about Scott Rowland? I'd say nay. Very good. When he was a Philly, I remember him being played really good as a Philly. Cardinal, he was okay. Here's one that I know how Greg feels about this one. Omar Vizquel. No. Screw that guy. He might be in jail in the near future from what I've read.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about
another dirtbag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's one.
Get the hell out of here.
I'm going to say yay on this because when he was a pitcher for the Astros and for the Mets, he was like a guaranteed save for me. Billy Wagner. What do you guys feel about Billy Wagner?
I think yay, not this year.
Yes, eventually.
Okay.
Eventually.
Yeah. I think he's seventh year on the ballot.
Yes. He is. Seventh year. He got 46% of the ballot.
It's going to be really close. Towards the end.
I'll name a couple more because some of these other guys on the ballot, there's no way they're getting in. Todd Helton.
Another very good guy.
Yeah.
I think he's better. I think he's better than we think. If we go back to some of the stats, but there's a whole Coors Field too. That everyone likes to look at. So but to me, you say Todd Helton, I just think very good.
Yeah,
same.
And there's nothing wrong with very good.
No, Gary Sheffield's another one. I feel like very good, but
I
don't know. And then
I'd say Helton before
some of the other new names to the ballot. Jimmy Rollins, I like him, but I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
No,
Carl Crawford, definitely not. His injuries derailed his career. Jake Peavy, no. I mean, he was a good pitcher, but no. Prince Fielder, no. I'm sorry, I don't think the longevity is there. Joe Nathan, I loved as a closer when he was in Minnesota, but not enough. No. Tim Lincecum's another one. Great couple years.
No.
No.
Papelbon, no.
Gets in for choking out Bryce Harper.
Exactly, yeah. And that's pretty much it. I thought someone said Alex
Ortiz. Wasn't Ortiz and Rodriguez on the ballot?
That's my stance on Alex Rodriguez is had a chance to clean up his act, and then he got caught again and was suspended for more than a season. I'm sorry. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt the first time because everyone was doing it in the 90s. The second time, though, there's no excuse for that. He
was doing it since high school, wasn't he? So, and
he's a total D-bag. So, no.
Well, if he gets in, you got to let Bonds.
Oh, yeah.
You got to let Bonds in.
The door is open at that point. So, and David Ortiz, I mean, I know there's been questions about him because when he was in the Twins, he was not a power hitter at all, right? I mean,
no, I mean he was, but not to what
he became.
Now he's doing.
Yeah. So,
I think Big Poppy's in.
I think he gets in too. Yeah. I have a feeling he does. A couple other quick things before we get to our music stuff. Mike Montgomery. I think Vinny, you found this. He's playing over in is it Korea or Japan? I don't know which. Japan. He decided to throw the rosin bag at the umpire.
Yes. Salt with the deadly rosin bag.
And he got a 20-game suspension. So he is sitting out. I didn't even realize he ended up in Japan. I thought he had more of a career in the majors with the way he pitched with the Cubs, but I guess he didn't last. I don't know.
No, he went to Kansas City.
Yeah, he went to
KC, and then just kind of went there to die almost. So
he will be forever.
A lot of people do that.
Yes, he will be forever the answer to who got the last out in the World Series.
Yeah, he's the guy on the mound.
The mound,
Cubs won the World Series. I mean, he's got that to his name. So
he didn't want to leave the Mariners. He was upset when he got traded at first too, which I found interesting. Yeah. We also the Brewers had a combined no-hitter between Burns and Hader for the MLB's 9th no-hitter against Cleveland, and I think Vinny, did you put in parentheses they stink?
Yeah, that's their 3rd no-hitter.
Yes,
against them.
I'll save the one thing here for last, but then lastly, I don't know if you guys saw Cardinal shortstop. I can't remember his first name, but Sosa. He threw the ball to first, completely airmailed it, missed, and it hit the umpire right in the face.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
If you want to see an interesting thing, search that on YouTube. And the umpire stayed in the game. He did not come out. So good for him.
Bloody and everything.
And here we go. And I know how Vinny feels about this. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Ryan Braun has retired. Vinny, tell us how you feel about Ryan Braun.
piece of shit. I mean, that could be him right behind Greg. Look out, Greg.
Hey,
he's right behind you.
Ryan Braun is in your house. The call is coming from inside your house.
I don't have the Brewers hat. I could. Oh, wait.
You do.
You guys keep talking.
Ryan Braun is now. We no longer have a White Sox mascot. We just have Ryan Braun
has just joined us on our podcast.
Yeah, Vinny, I gotta agree 100%.
I know the Brewers, this logo.
The Brewers fans are not going to be happy here. But the guy's he was a dick, right? I mean, he came out, was adamant that was it his urine test that they were testing for
the person that was handling his urine somehow tainted it or ruined it. And it
was Moises Alou,
right?
Using for his hands.
Put on his hands, yeah.
And I want to say, did that guy get fired or disciplined at work?
He did not didn't get fired. I think he might have gotten put on leave or something.
Okay.
But he's still employed as a
well, that's good then.
Urine handler.
But it's like
like Moises Alou.
Yes. What a dick move. You made the mistake of doing this in the first place, but then you're going to try and take someone else who has nothing to do with it. They're just doing their job. You're going to try and take them down. And I saw all the Brewers fans were kind of coming out of the woodwork, trying to celebrate this guy. And it's like, no, I'm sorry. I would take Barry Bonds' demeanor in steroids and all that over Ryan Braun, because what Ryan Braun did is just being an asshole on a whole. Well,
he just
level.
Doubled down on it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the thing, I know there was a bunch of like stuff that was out, and it was on the Score I was listening where they were talking about what he was actually taking, and it was I forget, was that Belco or was that after? I forgot what.
I'm not sure
what came out, how he got busted, but I think it was like some Florida.
Oh, doctor, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it was coming out, and he was giving players during that time like gummies or something to take. You're supposed to take one at the beginning of the game, and it was supposed to last you throughout the whole game. And by the end of the game, if you got tested, it wouldn't show up in your sample. Yeah. Well, he was arrogant enough to take multiple during a game, so when he got tested, he got dinged because he was taking more than one.
What an ass.
Again, he just like tripled down on it, not just doubled down. He was just a complete ass. But you know what? Whatever. If the Brewers want to celebrate him, whatever. No one else in the MLB will.
Ugh. All right. Well, good riddance. We will periodically check in on Ryan Braun in future podcasts since he's sitting behind Greg's shoulder. We'll have to see how he's doing in the future. But is he saying anything? Has he got any rebuttal? I don't think so. Probably not. He's going to blame it on us. We're tanking his career.
He's smiling over there, so I don't know. I don't know if we're getting to him. But
Fair enough. All right.
He feels no emotion.
No, he clearly did not when he was doubling down. All right. Well, that ends our baseball segment. We're going to switch gears to our music segment. So we're going to talk about our favorite concert experiences, concerts we wish we went to, maybe concerts we wish we didn't go to. And we got a bunch of people writing in, so we will try and sprinkle some of those in as we discuss these. Does anybody want to start off with a great concert experience that they have? Vinny, I know you have the most out of all of us. Go ahead. What do you got?
I will go. My very first one, I wish I would remember it better, but I saw Weird Al Yankovic.
Really?
Yes. At the Rockford Metrodome on his Running with Scissors tour. Absolutely. I just remember it. It was my first one, so it was like completely new, and loved that CD. I listened to it nonstop that year. And it was a really good show. And there was so much going on. Like he would have like video clips of like scenes of stuff like acting. And I was like, what is this? Like, how can I find Mom, I want to buy this movie, this TV show. And I'm just, I had no idea really what a concert was or anything like that. But it was a great show. I was entertained through it. I lost my wallet, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
That. I think I had like $20, which was a lot of money. That
Back
was like,
then,
that was a lot
of money today.
It's true. Yeah,
he's so pissed.
Did you ever see? I remember, God, I think when I was a kid and we had HBO, I remember it was on a couple times for some reason. Did you ever see his movie, that UHF movie that he was in with Michael Richards?
I have not seen that one. No,
it's strange. I remember liking it as a kid, but I remember Michael Richards plays like a janitor at the TV station or a custodian or something like that. So
okay,
and then they're just coming up with all these weird TV programmings for this channel that Weird Al is in charge of. So I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
What album was he like promoting, or what?
It was a Running with Scissors one.
Running with Scissors one. Okay, and now was that the Was that the Star Wars one? The episode one Star Wars song, the American.
Nice.
American Pie.
Yep. Yeah.
About Anakin.
Jedi.
Yes. I think my
for
favorite,
the Phantom Menace.
Yes, that's right. Yep. My favorite of his, I think, would have to be the Amish Paradise.
Amish Paradise
song.
I know Coolio upset.
Coolio was not happy about that song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was offended.
Wow, I didn't know that.
He was very offended. Yeah,
Gangster's Paradise is like his pretty much love
epic. Yeah,
for his childhood and everything, and so he took offense to that, to the Amish Paradise parody.
Well, that's like the opposite of Chameleonaire with Ryden when he did White and Nerdy. Chameleonaire came out and said that he thought it was amazing.
Awesome,
what he did, and it was. His parodies are. Second,
and great, I know, I think this is dating me. I think this might have been on the Weird Al Yankovic Behind the Music, which VH1 did make one, and I remember watching it. It was something along the lines of something got lost in translation because Weird Al's people reached out to Coolio's people, and Coolio's people told Weird Al it was okay to do the song, but they didn't really check with Coolio. That was the story that they had said. And I guess Coolio just kind of wrote off Weird Al, didn't want anything to do with him after that. So I can't imagine how fun and goofy that concert had to be, though. That had to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
Awesome. Very cool. Greg, what about you? You got any concerts that you want to share?
So I actually wanted to read Mike L from Discord chimed in, and I wanted to read his. He said, on my 20th birthday back in 98, my buddies took me to a Green Day show in New Jersey. We got moshed terribly, and a crowd surfing girl with cheetah print Converse kicked me in the face. I threw my hat on the stage, and Billy Joe Armstrong wore it for the full song before chucking it back into the crowd. The memory remains one of my favorite gifts. That is
awesome.
An awesome story. But I chose that one because Green Day was actually one of my, I think, guys, I haven't been to a concert in a while. So when Green Day was promoting, or they had kind of like their, it was after, was it
Warning?
Revolution Radio? No, I think they're doing their Awesome as Fuck tour.
Okay.
And they had it at the United Center.
Okay.
And my sister Tiffany was also there, and I like they did a lot of the new stuff. I think that was what album was that? 21st Century Breakdown, maybe.
That would have been
around that album.
Ago,
it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't one of my favorites. I mean, it's a fairly quote unquote newer one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when they sang some of the old songs
older
from
stuff.
like Dookie and Insomniac.
Yeah.
When they sang "She" from Dookie. I heard that live. I mean, I think that was my favorite song of the kind. I mean, that sounded amazing. It's a great song off the album. Duke is one of my favorite albums. So I didn't get kicked in the face by anyone, though. I mean,
I can't even imagine.
It was pretty. It was actually pretty. I don't want to say calm, but it was pretty. It went mellow, smoothly. Say the least.
I love the fact that Mike remembered the exact print of the Converse that it was the print.
Oh yeah, stuff like that.
It stays with you. And so, thank you, Mike. I know I always post our stuff in the MinMax Discord, and he reached out. He found our email and emailed that directly to us. So thank you, Mike. We appreciate it.
I wonder what song, Mike. If you could write back in, I'm just curious what song he wore your hat for. I would love to know. I would love to know what song.
That's a good question. That would be good. Yeah.
Because Green Day had a ton, especially around 98.
98.
That's when
they're
prime,
huge,
dude.
Yeah, they had. I mean, the hits kept coming at that point. So, couple others real quick before I give one. Sean, let me see here. Sean and Chris both mentioned Flogging Molly. Chris said he saw them on St. Patrick's Day. They're an Irish punk rock band, I guess you would say.
Yep.
Sean liked them. Dropkick Murphys is another.
I saw that, the Dropkick Murphys.
Dropkick Murphys, yeah. And then my favorite, this is from one of the guys I went to high school with, Des, from Facebook. He said he saw Flogging Molly at Irish Fest in Gaelic Park. For those of you that don't live in the Chicago suburbs, Gaelic Park is like a banquet hall, I guess. Would you call it? Kind of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm asking you guys like you're on the south side. Neither one of you are on the south side.
No.
So he saw Gaelic Park. He saw Flogging Molly at Gaelic Park when he was 16. Gaelic Park's also a very Irish bar too. When the band finished their set, they tossed the remaining cans of Guinness out to the crowd. Of course, the 16-year-old Desmond that I was had to catch one and immediately try to chug it, not knowing how tall a task that is, chugging a tall boy of Guinness. for even an inexperienced drinker. Afterwards, and emboldened by my Guinness, I snuck around the security fence to the flogging tour bus to meet with the band. With nothing to sign and them with only a red Sharpie, I walked away with a clean-shaven head, freshly signed by every member of the band.
That's awesome.
Knowing Des in high school, that doesn't surprise me.
What a story.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Des. We really appreciate it. One that I have, I saw, this would have been 2018, 2017, Foo Fighters at Wrigley Field.
Okay.
That was incredible. I mean, nothing crazy happened, but it was just such a memorable. They're my favorite band of all time, and the Cubs are obviously. Wrigley Field is one of my favorite places to be, and we know it's a dump. We've discussed that in detail already. But the two worlds kind of coming together. I know we went with some friends. We went to a couple places around Wrigleyville beforehand to get dinner and stuff, and it was just an awesome experience. And then same thing, we left a little bit early to beat the traffic to get back to the car, and just hearing, Foo Fighter music echo through Wrigley as we're walking back through the blocks to get back to the car was just an awesome experience. Remind me though, before we go, maybe the next go around, I have an amazing story about Blink-182 and my wife, your sister, Vinnie, almost fighting a bunch of teenagers. So
that doesn't surprise me.
Don't let me forget when we go around again, I'll share that one. Vinnie, you got another one you want to share or one you want to read?
Yeah, I went to Kenny Chesney concert at Lambeau Field.
Wow.
Unfortunately, it was in 2011, the year they won the Super Bowl. So the Packer fans were there talking about how great the Packers were, but the concert itself was absolutely fantastic. The lineup was Kenny Chesney, had Billy Carrington, the Zac Brown Band, and Uncle Kracker was there too.
Wow.
Uncle Kracker. Nice.
Follow me.
Yeah, right. And so it was a really good concert. And that wasn't actually that's the second time I saw Zac Brown Band open for somebody. The first time was Dave Matthews before they got real famous. So that was a really good one. And yeah, that was another. I've seen Dave Matthews twice at Alpine, and
I will admit, Vinnie, that is on like my bucket list. I love Dave Matthews. Their live album at Central Park in New York City. I have, and I still listen to that every once in a while. I think like Two Step is like a 22-minute version of that song in their live album. But that is one band I hope at some point before I die to see in concert. That's like one I want to check off my list. For sure.
They're fantastic. They're always in Chicago too.
They are.
I'm surprised you haven't seen them yet.
No, I haven't. Their tour bus also dumps shit in the river too. Yeah. But not
in the river. On top of people.
On top of people. That's true. I keep hoping
they timed it just right.
Whenever someone brings it up, I'm like, well, it's not like Dave said drop it right there. I'm sure it was the bus driver. It's not his fault. But
someone in the group was like, hey, let's empty this. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how you could do that though. Like those bridges aren't like very big. Like, how are you stopping a bus on one of those bridges?
Yeah,
and then just
dumping it through the grating. And I can't. Oh man.
Yeah, like I don't know. Yeah, where did it happen? It wasn't on like the Mag Mile, was it?
No, it was just on one of the Chicago River bridges. Which I mean, there's tons. I don't. It was a Jackson Bridge. I don't know which bridge it was, but. Oh man, yeah, that
I forgot about that story until
that lives in infamy. I want to say one of the radio stations out here they do like an anniversary tribute to every year when they dumped the crap on everyone in the river. So
wasn't the Mix?
They probably deserved it.
The Mix might have done that too.
I thought they did something.
They might have done that too. Greg, you got any others or
really
one?
Really quick, Justin, what was the best or what was your favorite song at that Foo Fighters concert?
Foo Fighters concert. Oh man,
if you can pick one, I would love to see him in concert. I love the Foo Fighters.
I do. It's funny. Like for the longest time, was it The Color and the Shape where it was My Hero and Everlong? Like Everlong is one of my favorites. I've tried when I was really into playing my drums. I still have them in the garage, but I tried so hard how to learn how to play Everlong. I can't. I'm not good enough at the drums to play Everlong. That was really good. My Hero was really good. I think the one that I liked the most because they just absolutely rocked out was One by One.
Oh, nice.
Just the guitar riff in that song was excellent. Yeah, I mean, even their new stuff, like as a band, you get, most bands, you get their new stuff now, and it's like, I don't want to listen to this. Just play the hits.
Play the hits, yeah.
They rolled out the new album, and it was like I had heard some of the songs, and it was awesome. They rocked it out of the park. It was good stuff. But good question.
That's great. Well, Learn to Fly was the cake song at my wedding. It was the only one of the few songs I could pick. I know it's definitely one of my favorites by them. So, I don't see the one I was going to bring up here. I don't know if anyone else mentioned it, but I think it was 2006 or 2007 at Allstate Arena, which is an amazing concert. It was Red Hot Chili Peppers promoting Stadium Arcadium.
Oh, that would have been a
good show. I went with my friends in high school. And it was it was just an awesome experience. I mean, we were some of the younger kids there in high school because they were, they weren't. I mean, they were popular, of course, but not really with our age group, at least that time on the North Shore. But,
yeah.
What an amazing concert! What an underrated album too. That one always
great.
Flack,
that was a great album
by some of the hardcores, but I enjoy several tunes off that album.
Now was Red Hot Chili Peppers, were they still performing in nothing but gym socks at that point, or were they clothed? Really?
Pretty much. I don't think it started. It transitioned into that. So
as it got warmer in the building.
Yes, it transitioned.
Wow.
Okay. Bit, so
interesting. Because I knew they did that in the early '90s, but
no, it was it was really cool. So. But yeah, I mean, I don't have as many concerts. I mean, that's going to be the last one I'm going to mention, other than just a couple stints at Ravinia.
Yeah, I have never been to Ravinia.
Ravinia is actually pretty nice. It's got great lawn seating there. I mean, you can catch a lot of big artists there. But when I went, I talk about high school. My high school was like a couple blocks away from the damn place. But a lot of just people I can't even remember now. But a lot of smaller folk groups.
Good times.
Whoever. It's just more of the experience there. That's really fun. But I'll get to one that I regret not going to later on. But had to give Chili Peppers a shout. So.
Definitely.
Nice.
All right. Before I get to one, I got to read this one because I thought this was pretty funny. This is from Melissa on Facebook. She had two. She said she went and saw Alanis Morissette recently. Last week, she said she sang a secret song off of her album Jagged Little Pill, and then she sang it in a bunch of different styles, which was pretty cool. And they also had a bunch of video clips of different scenes from her career. So she said she recommends that show. I will admit, I really like Alanis Morissette. A lot of her songs were really good, but the one that I thought was the funniest that Melissa wrote in, she said when she was in college at Bradley, Sugar Ray came to perform. They got so drunk on stage that they accidentally threw the microphone and hit one of her friends at the end of the row. The microphone rolled down. Oh, it gets better. The microphone rolled down the aisle to her feet. She picked it up and walked it up to return to them. Her friend came with. Apparently, it was a 2-person job. Her only regret was that she didn't know the song they were singing, or she would have sung into the live microphone. So.
What a story.
Wow. Yeah, like I will admit, I still enjoy some old Sugar Ray. I mean,
comes on every now and again.
Yeah, you give me a little someday or every morning, I'll rock out to, or fly. I'll rock out to those.
Yep.
All right. I think I got to share this before I forget. We went and saw Blink 182. My wife, girlfriend at the time, who was Vinnie's sister. We went and saw Blink 182. Little preface to this. The night before, we went to a bar and grill out here called Bourbon Street that used to sponsor the hockey team I played on. So we would go there, we'd eat a bunch of food, get like a 20% discount. It wasn't really worth the discount.
You're going to say get hammered.
No, me? No, come on. Yeah. But at that point in my life, I was out of college at this point. I was really into eating hot wings and trying to eat the hottest things I could eat because that's what I was doing at the time. I don't know that.
This is all new to me.
You graduated from your street racer to hot wings.
I went straight from a hot rod to
I don't even know who I'm talking to right now.
No. Well, see, that's the glory of the podcast. You learn a little bit. But anyway, so we go to Bourbon Street and I'm like, well, I'm going to get the hottest wings they have because, I'm Justin. I can handle it. Oh, my God. The next day was the Blink 182 concert. I was still so sick. I don't think I talked or really moved the entire time. And I felt so bad. We were with Erica's friends who, I believe we were with her friends, Laura and Ted, and they're awesome. I love them. And I felt so bad because I'm just sitting there holding my stomach the whole time. And I'm like,
oh my God,
why did I do? They were like the devil's breath habanero wings. I don't know.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I don't go much hot. I don't go hot anymore. But anyway, we get to the concert.
Now he's parm garlic all the way. So.
Yes, that's a good. That's my level now. Fall Out Boy was one of the opening acts. I think Panic at the Disco was also an opening act. Both pretty good.
Ooh.
Fall Out Boy was fine. They didn't really have their stage presence. Their stage show was okay. Nothing fancy. They weren't the headliner though. So Blink 182 comes out. They put on an amazing show. For the encore, they came out They hooked up Travis Barker, the drummer, into this harness, and the stage lifted up and then completely tipped upside down, and he played drum solos upside down while it was spinning. It was incredible. I can't stress. I mean, I knew he was a good drummer, but he is an amazing drummer.
Yeah, no, he's a fantastic drummer.
So that was a great experience. But the story that goes along with it is, so obviously we were in our mid-20s at this point. I think of Blink-182 as like the band I grew up with. I bought a couple of their albums, but I was too afraid to buy the real album because it had the parental explicit advisory on it. Which, looking back, my parents would not have cared at all. I mean, my parents are pretty low key, they don't mind. But I bought the edited version of "Take Off Your Pants and Jacket." I was probably the only one in America that bought that album. But anyway, so the point of the story though is, we were in Tinley Park out by us. There's an outdoor venue that's a huge hill, which will come up in another story later. Huge hill, lawn seating, and then there's an overhead canopy, and then there's like stadium seating. And so we were in the very edge of the stadium seating. We had great seats, and we were right behind the row for like anyone who had wheelchairs or needed handicap accessibility. Well, nobody was there, so that row was empty, which was perfect. We could put our feet up. We had a perfect view. So anyway, all of a sudden, these teeny boppers, these preteens, 12, 13-year-olds, they start coming and they start sitting in front of us.
Ooh.
Well, and obviously our listeners might not know my wife, but don't mess with her because she's a whippersnapper. So anyway, she's like, hey, get the hell out of here. These aren't your seats. And they just kind of turn around and they're like, whatever, old lady, they kind of shush her off.
That makes sense. I would have done the same thing.
Well, and then as the night goes on, more of these kids are showing up and they're making out. And it's like, I don't want to see a bunch of 12 and 13-year-olds making out in front of me. I'm like, so Erica finally yells, you don't even know these guys. You weren't even born yet when they got popular. Get the hell out of here. And she's yelling and yelling. And she's pushing the chairs to kind of push them into them, and they're not taking a hit. So then she finally goes and gets security, and security's like, what do you want me to do? Yeah. And she's like, it's your job. They don't have tickets. Move them out of here. And she's pointing. It's like, it's these guys right here. They don't belong here. Kick them out. And of course,
oh my gosh,
it was so funny.
Ooh.
It was hysterical. Next time you guys see her or talk to her,
I'm embarrassed for her. Oh my god.
No. It meant well. I mean, she meant well. I mean, she just wanted us to. Well,
she tattled.
I was like,
she told on him.
She was the narc, but she knew I'm not going to do anything because nowadays I might, but back then I wasn't going to do anything. I don't want to start a war with like 15, 12-year-olds.
Pre-Xanax, Justin.
Yeah, pre-Xanax, Justin.
Let's not start anything.
Let's not start drama.
They might have guns.
So in the end there was no resolution.
There was no recourse. Eventually they got tired of Erica kind of pushing chairs into them and they left. I hope I'm telling the story right, because if she listens and I got this wrong, she's gonna let me hear about it. But,
it's right because you told it on the podcast.
That's right. So that is, I got a couple more. Obviously, I know we're gonna run out of time soon, but I got one or two more. But Vinny, you got another one you want to share?
Wait,
I know you got so many.
Really quick, Justin, can I ask you how Blink-182 sounded live? At least it was
incredible.
Really?
It was excellent. This would have been 2012, maybe 2011, 2010, something like that.
Is this before Tom DeLonge had his like issues with his throat or something like that?
Yes,
because I know he lost his ability to really sing.
And he was still in the band. I know Mark Hoppus he's going through chemo right now for cancer. Which is rough. But I think this would have been before Tom DeLonge kind of went all crazy conspiracy theory, Area 51. Yeah. If you ever see his Twitter,
Angels and Airwaves,
man, there's some interesting stuff there. But good question. Yeah, no, it was a great show. I enjoyed it. So
awesome,
nice.
Vinny, you got another one?
I'm gonna actually read my folks that wrote in on Facebook. My mom and dad, Vince and Lynn. They wrote in. I'm only reading theirs because of the first one that's listed on there. Gustavo Dudamel, the conductor, classical music. My dad went to go see that, and I was actually supposed to go to that concert with him. It was my decision to go to that because I had to go to it for school for a music class that I was in at college. But I was dating my wife at the time, and I was like, no, Dad, I don't want to go. I got other things I need to do, like hang out with my girlfriend not go to some concert.
Which she's finding out now for the first time, right?
Yes, I think so. He did take my Uncle Joel with, so he had a nice date night with him, and they went to go see it. He said it was really good. I do kind of regret not going to see him, knowing how things turned out with my wife, that we're married now, and I probably didn't have to try as hard as I did. But
hey, it worked out.
Yes, it did. But yeah, they also saw Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Zach Brown Band, also very good. Brad Paisley, Barry Manilow, Miranda Lambert, and Carrie Underwood were the concerts they saw. And I guess I'll mention one of the most wildest concerts I've ever been to.
Sure.
Which I still can't believe I went to that concert. Was Jimmy Buffett at Alpine Valley. If you ever want to see a bunch of cougars let loose, I recommend going to a Jimmy Buffett concert. During the middle of the concert, it was a great concert. I'm a Jimmy Buffett fan. I like his music, and it was fun. It's very low key type of concert. But during the middle of the concert, they must have during tailgating a camera crew for the concert go around, and during the concert they show a bunch of video clips of women flashing the cameraman that was going around during tailgating. So you just
the cougars specifically, right?
Yes, pretty much. I just remember that it was just constant, like 30 minutes of just flashing
on
the big screen as Jimmy Buffett's playing a song, and it's just like, wow, this is a wild concert. I've never been to any.
I would have. Those parrot heads, they know how to have a good time.
Right? I was in college at the time. But yeah, it was a fantastic concert. If you like Jimmy Buffett, I highly recommend this concert.
I'm glad you brought that up. Brenda on Facebook wrote in. She had mentioned she's seen the Stones, Elton John, Bruce Springsteen, Billy Joel, Kiss, Santana, Steely Dan, the Beach Boys, Toby Keith, Chicago. I would love to see any of those. Yeah. But she said she has seen Jimmy Buffett. She loves them. She said it's always a summer concert. People are happy singing and having a grand old time, which clearly they are. Yes. And I know my mom and dad also went to see Buffett in 2013 at Alpine Valley here. And my mom said there was nothing more fun than watching all the drunk people try and climb up the hill at Alpine Valley. So, good times. My next story I will mention is I got two. First off, No Doubt I saw in Tinley Park. No Doubt puts on an amazing show. I don't really have any story to go along with that, but I love No Doubt. I hope that somehow Gwen Stefani gets back and they put another album out together, because they haven't done that in a long time. One of my favorite bands. But the other two I want to share real quick is I saw U2 at Soldier Field. Erica took me for my birthday. U2 is one of my favorite bands. They're right up there with Foo Fighters. Soldier Field is awesome for a concert. Holy cow. They had their stage set up in the end zone, and it was literally like a giant spider sitting over the stage. And it was, I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands. It doesn't work, but this spider was actually like, it wasn't a spider, but it looked like one. And it was literally going up and going down while they were singing down here underneath it. And it was moving and like changing colors, and it was awesome. Can't say enough good things about those guys for their age, and for as long as they've been around. They can still put on a hell of a show. It was kind of funny. We did get asked by a bunch of people supporting like Greenpeace and stuff, and we were walking in to join their cause. And I said, I'll think about it. Thanks. And I walked in, and that was about it. So, and then I saw Journey at in Tinley Park with Cheap Trick and Heart. And that was actually, wow. I saw that with my friend John and Sean and Missy. Excellent show. Cheap Trick was excellent. Heart, holy cow. Heart is awesome. They can put on a hell of a show. And same thing with Journey. Obviously, it wasn't, was it Steve Perry was the original
Steve Perry, yeah. Was it the Filipino guy?
Yeah, I don't know what that guy's name is, but holy cow, he sounded just like Steve Perry. He was so animated. He's really good. And I think the funniest thing about it was at the end of the concert, we had lawn seats on the hill. It started raining. And at some point, for some reason, people thought it was a good idea to go to the top of the hill and then try and body slide all the way down to the stage in the mud. And sure enough, a few people did make it. And then
sounds like fun.
And then we left. Yeah, it looked very dirty.
Did you say Cheap Trick was there?
Yes, they were the opener with Heart.
Did they sing Surrender?
They did. They did. It was so good.
I saw Cheap Trick at Summerfest.
They were excellent.
It was around 2003 or something like that.
That's awesome.
They were good, yeah.
Real quick before you go next, or Vinny, whoever's turn it is, Andrea wrote in. She said she saw the Kaiser Chiefs at Lollapalooza. Greg, you actually have heard some Kaiser Chiefs. Do you know where you've heard them? I'm going to take that as a no.
I've heard some Kaiser Chiefs.
Yes, they were actually on the soundtrack of MLB The Show a couple of years ago. A couple of their songs.
What was their song?
I don't remember. If you, while I'm talking,
I'll have to go back. I've never heard of them.
Yeah, Google search MLB The Show Kaiser Chiefs and it'll pop up. But she saw them. She said she didn't know who they were at Lollapalooza and she ended up loving them. Saw them again in Tinley Park. People ended up tearing up the sod in the lawn and throwing it all over the place. As you can tell, Tinley Park is they have some fun times there. And then she also said when they started throwing food too, and she got hit in the head with this thing of corn on the cob.
Oh, geez.
Which
sorry, Andrea.
Andrea is awesome. So I can't imagine that. And she said she also saw Iggy Pop at Lollapalooza. He invited everyone on stage and then it almost collapsed and security swooped in. So Iggy Pop, for the longest time, I only knew him from The Adventures of Pete and Pete on Nickelodeon. He played the dad of, I believe, the character Ellen, which is kind of funny. So
interesting. Justin, I have to ask you, when you guys were at the U2 concert, did people kick the back of your chairs and yell at you and tell you to get out because they were famous before you were even born? Did that happen?
No.
Okay.
I think
I just thought that there was always a signed crazy lady that would run around at concerts doing that to
he might not have been
around.
He might not have been making out though. Maybe that was the kicker. Or maybe he was.
Plus Erica, she knows who U2 is. She knows Bono. She told me before the concert, she got me the tickets. She's like, oh, well, I'll go with you. I don't really know a lot of their songs, but I'll go. I said, okay, well, that's fine. So she said she knew a couple. And after every popular song, I asked her, I'm like, do you know this? And she's like, no. So there was one she knew. But she was a trooper. She said she had a good time and it was a lot of fun. Parking at Soldier Field was like $75, which was insane. But that's the price of U2, I suppose. Vinny, you got any others?
Yeah.
Any others you want to read?
I would just say an underrated concert that I went to was Harry Connick Jr. Took my wife there in Chicago. He was actually fantastic. If you are into the kind of jazz music, like Frank Sinatra type of stuff,
right?
He put on a great show. He was very entertaining. He told jokes and stories and stuff like that. So it was more than just him singing the entire time. There was a lot more to it, and it was a very good concert. So. Very underrated. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as
that's actually kind of cool. It's always fun when you go somewhere and it's like, I'll go because it's something to do, and then you actually have a really good time. You know what I mean? Like it's enjoyable. Awesome. That's excellent.
Did he talk about Independence Day at all?
I was just gonna ask that.
I'm trying to remember. No. I
Put your mask on, Marine. That's an order.
I can't breathe.
There's a lot of Cougars that go to his concerts too, so I don't think they would that would resonate too well. So
more the Will and Grace crowd coming in. Yeah,
exactly.
Do you know who they originally wanted to cast for Jimmy?
No, who?
Matthew Perry. From Friends? Yeah, Chandler.
Wow.
Harry Connick Jr.
Could I be blowing up anymore right now?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nailed it.
That's pretty cool
though. Greg, you want any others?
Yeah, so I kind of talked about, like I said, I haven't been to very many. I briefly brought up what's the name of the place? Ravinia.
Yes.
And I can't even tell you the people I saw there.
Oh yeah.
But one concert I regret not going to, and I had the chance. It did cost a lot of money. I knew several people that went to it. Gosh, was it 2013 maybe? But it was when the Eagles had their resurgence tour, and they were at Allstate, and they had like everyone back, even the dudes that what was his name? Not Joe Walsh, but the other guy. I can't remember. But they were all there, and a bunch of people I worked with went to, and they said they could still sing the hits, pretty well. I think Ashley even offered to buy tickets, but I looked at the prices and we just started being like, that's a lot, but how amazing that would have been. One of my favorite bands of all time to see. And I've watched a lot of their concerts, on video or whatever else, a lot of their live concerts, and they're just so damn good.
Yeah.
So Glenn Frey, Don Henley, just amazing artists. So
nice.
Missed opportunity. Glenn Frey sadly passed on now, but Oh, what a missed opportunity! But
what could have been, right?
What could have been, but just a great band and a band I listen to frequently. So
awesome.
Anytime I could listen to their music, really, any sort of mood,
Yeah, just kind of fits, right?
Good to know.
Excellent. I'll read a couple more. I got one more brief story. A couple others that wrote in. My buddy Greg, who he got married last year, but we had his reception this year because of COVID. Congrats to him. He said he saw Fall Out Boy and All American Rejects. He went there for Fall Out Boy, but All American Rejects absolutely killed it. They were fantastic. Fall Out Boy was kind of blah. Lisa from Facebook wrote in. She said she saw Jason Isbell, who I have never heard Jason Isbell, but I've heard a lot of good things about him. I don't know if I would like him, but I've heard he's really good. I don't know if you guys have ever listened to him.
No, I never have.
No. And then she also said she saw Frank Turner. That was her first concert with her husband, Jose. Your Aunt Ellen, Vinnie, wrote in. She said she saw Van Halen, Foreigner, Elton John, Journey, and Dennis DeYoung of Styx, which, man, that's a good lineup. That's a top 5 right there. Compare. Your Aunt Ellen is a rocker, man. She
didn't know
knows her stuff. Yeah, I'm going to have to talk to her about that next time she's in town. Yeah. Erica, my wife, wrote in the Backstreet Boys. I believe that she went and saw them. I don't remember when she saw them. Panic at the Disco was she saw them in concert before from their first album. She did mention Blink 182, but oddly enough, left out the story where she tried to fight a bunch of kids.
Interesting.
And then she said she also saw Kanye before he went crazy. Oddly enough, she did not mention her trip to Detroit with her.
I was just about to say
I was going
to
say you guys all made that pilgrimage together.
Yeah, where Greg and I were a little nervous about them going to Detroit. I've heard
that was the same.
Better,
that was the same. That was when they left. That was the same day we were supposed to do the meatball challenge. Or
that's
something
right.
Like that. Remember
and
that?
Then you went there and they said we don't have enough meatballs, and I'm like, oh.
I said, well, give me what you have. So and I ate them all.
My mom. Oh, go ahead, Greg. What were you going to say?
No, that was it.
Yeah, I think you got was it a 1 foot or 2 foot sub then instead of 3?
I don't know, but I was dead.
I have not been there in forever. We need to go back there.
I don't think I left your house. I don't think I left. That's when you're still living in Oakland. I don't think I left your house. I was like, Justin, let's just play PlayStation. Because I can't go anywhere.
I don't have the power to get up right now. I just remember that drive back. I'm like, oh, please don't get sick in my car. My mom wrote in. She said her favorite concert was the 1986 Monkees reunion concert. She also is seeing them for their farewell concert in November of this year. I know her and
I heard about that. Yeah.
Yes, her and our family friend Kay are huge Monkey fans.
My wife, that was her first concert with the Monkees.
Really?
I think she saw him. I want to say she saw him in Rockford. But yeah, that was her first concert. Was the Monkees?
I think it's
doing a little tour.
They're doing their reunion tour, and I think only 2 of them are left. I know. I want to say, is it Mickey Dolenz is left or Peter Tork? I even know their names because she always had Monkees music on when I was a kid. She also saw Styx in 1983. Way to go, Mom! I didn't even know that.
Wow.
She was a renegade. Keith Urban and Kenny Chesney. And then John from the Game Informer Facebook group, where we have talked to Andrew Reiner before. He was pulled on stage for the System of a Down concert at their show.
Amazing,
I can't even imagine being pulled on stage.
Wow.
I remember I was really into them in high school. I had learned,
so was I.
Toxicity.
Yeah, I think everybody was.
I could play Toxicity on the drums, and I thought I was a badass. Yep. It wasn't good sounding, but at least the intro where he's going through all the different tom-toms, I could play that, and thought I was awesome. The only other story I have to share, I saw the Smashing Pumpkins in college at the Chicago Theater.
Nice.
Smashing Pumpkins, I'd say Foo Fighters, Smashing Pumpkins, and U2 are my top 3 bands of all time. I saw them at Chicago Theater. It was awesome to see them. They get back together so often and then break up every so often. And I think
Billy Corgan just kind of randomly appears.
He just shows up. And I will be the first to admit.
Is he like a vampire?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
He only comes out at night.
Yeah.
Which is actually one of the songs they sang, actually. It was awesome. Chicago Theater is a great place to see a concert if you can get there. Just the historicness, is that a word? Historic-esque.
Yep.
Part of that building.
Yeah, it works.
But the only thing I was bummed out about is they had 2 different set show lists, and the night we were there, they did not play 1979, which is my favorite Pumpkin song.
That's probably their most popular song. Yeah,
they ended the show with like a 20-minute heavy metal instrumental, which was kind of weird. But the funniest thing is so I will admit, Billy Corgan is kind of a strange guy. I love him, but he's a strange guy. He comes out, he's got a Zero t-shirt from when Zero was a popular song, which I remember kids in my high school used to always have those. And then he had a wedding dress skirt on. He had like the skirt of a wedding dress and then his Zero t-shirt. And someone didn't like that they weren't playing so many of their hits, and someone yelled to him, "Billy, you go big or you go home, man." And he turned around and he goes, "Sir, I'm in a wedding dress. Do you think sports analogies really work for me?" That was it.
That's good.
Yeah, but I mean,
Nice.
yeah, Brian, he's also a huge Cubs fan.
He is, yeah.
Podcast idea. We need to try and get him on the podcast.
Interesting.
Other bands I wish I still need to see. I still need to see Weezer. I love Weezer. I am an unapologetic Weezer fan. Dave Matthews, I mentioned, and I love the Bare Naked Ladies. They are one of my favorite bands as well. I would love to see them in concert too. So, any other concerts you guys want to go to? Any other stories you want to share before we wrap up?
Oh gosh, I'm sure there's several.
Several?
Yeah. I can't think of any.
I don't have anything.
I think we've exhausted everything. I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty much.
And there were a few more people that wrote in. I apologize we didn't get to you guys. Unfortunately, I am not cultured enough. They were a bunch of bands I had never heard of before. So we will definitely shout those people out in a future episode for sure. Don't think you wrote in vain, but I think we got to almost everybody. So before we wrap up, Vinny, you got anything else to share? Anything to plug? Anything you want to discuss before we call quits?
Nothing to plug, but interesting story about the Monkees.
Yes.
When they were becoming famous, they had a party that was set up, I think, for maybe the release of their album. And I think it was, I believe, Paul McCartney and John Lennon actually showed up at that party. Mm-hmm. So it was for promotion for the Monkees. The Beatles showed up.
Wow. Well, you know, the Monkees were a huge inspiration for the Beatles.
Well, exactly. That's why they showed up.
And I don't know if anyone listening knows this, but I remember my mom telling me this. Michael Nesmith, one of the singers and guitarists of the Monkees, his mom is the one that created Whiteout. So he comes from the Whiteout fortune, rolling in the dough there. So
interesting.
Yeah, there you go. Greg, you got anything else you'd like to share? Plug? Celebrate anything?
I know everything to celebrate. Jeff.
Of course.
Just gotta make that clear. But I said She was an amazing song on during the Green Day concert. Yes. Another great song that's so underrated, and I think it's like one of my favorite Green Day songs of all time is JAR.
Oh yeah,
you guys
I love
ever heard that one. Yeah, that is named after Mike Dirnt's friend that died. I forget his name. But they played that one too, and that was just killer. So
that's awesome.
Nice. Great song, but great experience. Like I said, haven't been to many, but I would like to again if that ever becomes a thing. Yeah. Although now that I'm a parent, we're probably going to,
like the Wiggles or
Paw Patrol concert.
Paw Patrol. We did see the Paw Patrol movie, which actually was pretty solid.
You guys can see Blippi in concert.
There you go.
Blippi, yeah, we don't. I know your son's into Blippi. Yeah. Blippi. We try to get our kids away from it. Well, I'm
loving the fact that I don't know what any of this is.
You will. You're gonna know the new stuff, Justin.
Yes. Yeah, hopefully it's good.
What is that? So,
yeah, it's only getting worse.
It's only getting worse. Going back to Green Day, Greg, it's funny. I don't remember. Is it from Dookie? What album is Brains 2 from? Do you guys know? Is that Dookie?
Is it Nimrod?
Maybe it's Nimrod. Okay.
It might be Nimrod.
That was actually...
It's either Nimrod and Insomniac. Isn't it? No, it's not Insomniac.
No,
it's one of those.
It's got to be Nimrod. Maybe that was actually
I think Nimrod's right.
The first band in high school that I was ever a part of. That was the first song we learned to cover and play together. So that
was really Insomniac, Greg.
Okay. It wasn't Insomniac.
Yep.
Insomniac.
Not the most difficult song to play, obviously, but we felt like badasses when we learned to play it together.
I bet.
It's a great song.
It was awesome. So. Real quick, just a shout out. Next week, look for us or one of us, some of us, who knows. There's a chance that next week we will be on the 3-Spot podcast. They are doing a minor league logo draft where different people that write for them and different podcasts that work with them are going to be coming on Zoom for their podcast. And we're going to be drafting our favorite logos from the minor leagues. So that should be fun. And then also possibly Greg will be on the Two Jocks and a Schlub podcast, who we've gotten to know a little bit on Twitter. They're a sports podcast. I believe they're based out in New York. They are doing some playoff rankings and they want a White Sox perspective. So who better to ask than Greg Probst? And we're going to give it to him.
I think we won't copyright the rant or whatever that's called today. You just send that into him here.
You probably could.
the clip, and there you go.
There's your interview. So
now I'm hoping by the time that hopefully it works out, they get to talk to them, that I've changed my tune a little bit.
Hopefully,
we'll
but it might make for more interesting.
I was going to say
podcasting.
Angry Playoff Greg is good radio. It's good listening.
So I guess we're to root for. Well, I guess I can't root for, but you guys can root for the continuation of.
Yes, a little bit,
right there.
Yeah,
Ryan,
just a little bit.
Should we just call him Ryan?
Yeah,
Ryan
we should.
Braun?
Ryan, RB.
Ryan Braun.
Little RB back there.
RB.
And then lastly, too, I listened to it today. Shout out to Shayla from Sweet Time with Shayla and I'm drawing a
Chelsea.
Chelsea, thank you. Sorry, Chelsea. Her YouTube channel.
Amazing pianist,
interview,
by the way. She's
yes.
Chelsea's amazing pianist. So
yes. So they Shayla did the Bond and Banter podcast, which Greg was on last week. Where I don't remember the name of the character she pretended to be. Do you remember?
Electric King from The World Is Not Enough.
So she did that, and then they talked a little bit about her Bond fandom. She talked about her Bond sleeve tattoos, which is awesome. As somebody who's, I don't know, maybe working on a sleeve someday. I don't know. We'll see. That was interesting.
Got a half one going right now.
Got a half one going. And then obviously Jack shouted us out and mentioned us on his podcast. So we of course got to return the favor. So if you
friend of the pod and big Mets guy. So
So and we got to figure out, maybe we can. Gosh, maybe we need to do something where you and him rank Bond movies, and Vinny and I just sit back and we'll be like the Mystery Science Theater 3000 guys.
Justin, you and Greg keep poo-pooing on my Bond knowledge. All right.
Well, then I will be the host. I will be the host.
Now it's a punchline almost.
It can be. That's what we'll do. We'll have Greg, Vinny, and Jack. You guys rank top. We'll pull 5 out of a hat, or we can rank.
I think
5.
I've only seen 5 Bond movies.
Then I'll make sure it's 5.
To tell you the truth, I talk to Jack quite frequently on Twitter, and I think, because here's the thing, Jack talks Bond, every day of his life.
Yeah, it's true. We got to switch it up for him.
He's got to get. He's got baseball to get out. He's also got New York Giants to get out. So he's a big sports fan.
That reminds me. We need to do our Chicago Bears 1 minute segments. Describe the Bears in like 2 or 3 words, Vinny. Greg, 2 or 3 words.
That was impressive. I can't copy that. Can I do the Grinch go stink,
stank, stunk,
dunk?
And I'll go.
Or can I do the? Or well, I guess you said 2 or 3 words. I want to do the Seinfeld spiel when Newman's talking to Jigsaw at Bleeker's Records. So that's what I wanted to do, but because that's how I felt.
And then you got Jay Sherman from The Critic. It stinks. Yeah. So we'll work that in periodically throughout the season. If there's any Bears talk to talk about, we will work that in as well. But enough of that.
Andy Dalton revenge game coming up.
Yeah.
That's an amazing sound.
We need a soundboard. I think.
We need to clip that. And drop it.
I'm trying to talk myself into buying a new Mac. So if I do that, soundboard is coming.
Perfect.
All right. Well, on that note, if you want to write in, tell us what you think about your favorite bands, favorite concerts, baseball, the Bears, football, whatever. Email us at baseballwhatever@gmail.com. Tweet us. Our Twitter followers have been awesome. We're over 100, which for us is incredible. Tweet us at baseball and what, or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/baseball and whatever. Thank you for listening on this musical journey that we've taken you on, and we will see you guys next week. Take care, guys.
See ya.
Good night.